Students, whatever homework is given to you, you have to submit it on the very next day between 8 am to 1 pm to the given WhatsApp number, and it is compulsory to submit your homework as your attendance will be marked on the basis of your submission.
Good morning, students. Today we are going to study chapter 4, structure of atom. So first of all, what is atom? Atom is fundamental building block of matter. For example, in case of living organism, cell is fundamental unit of life, right? Similar in case of matter, atoms and molecules are fundamental building blocks of matter. So there is a question arise that why there is having a different kinds of matter if atom is fundamental building block of matter, because if there is having a solid, atoms which are present in solid having different properties compared to liquid. Okay, that's why there is having a solid, liquid, gas, etc. Okay, Dalton proposed the theory that atoms are indivisible, but many scientists led an experiment and come to the conclusion that atoms are divisible and it consists subatomic particle. One of the first indications that atoms are divisible comes from the studying static electricity. Static electricity means if any body is charged, if any body is electrically charged, but that charge is not moving, it will move only when that body come in contact with another body. At that time only that charge will move. So we can say there is having a static electricity. So now we will study charged particles in matter. Okay. In 1900 it was known that atom is indivisible particle but contained at least one subatomic particle. Okay. So first electron is identified by J.J. Thomson, and electron is represented by E minus. Okay, so keep in mind. And mass of an electron is considered to be negligible and its charge is -1. Okay, its charge is -1. Now proton. Proton is identified by E. Goldstein in 1886. He discovered presence of new radiations in gas discharge and called them canal rays. These rays were positively charged radiation and which led to the discovery of proton. Okay. This proton had charge which is equal in magnitude but opposite in sign to that of electron. Okay. Its mass was approximately 2000 times as that of इलेक्ट्रॉन. प्रोटॉन का मास इलेक्ट्रॉन से 2000 टाइम्स है. ओके, एंड प्रोटॉन इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय P plus, whereas electron is represented by E minus. Okay, mass of proton is taken as 1 unit and its charge as +1. Okay, +1, and charge of electron is -1. Now we will study structure of atom. Dalton atomic theory suggested that atoms are indivisible, that is could not be broken down into smaller particles. But the discovery of subatomic particles, that is proton and electron inside the atom, led to the disapproval of Dalton atomic theory. And after this discovery of these subatomic particles, it became necessary to find out how these particles are arranged inside the atoms. Okay, so J.J. Thomson was the first scientist to propose model for structure of atom. Okay, J.J. Thomson proposed that atom is similar to that of Christmas pudding, or we can say it is similar to watermelon. Okay, electrons in a sphere of positive charge were like currents, or we can say dry fruits in a spherical Christmas pudding or watermelon. You can compare red part which is present in watermelon with positively charged proton, and that black seeds which is present in watermelon, it is like electron. So here you can see that this part this part orange part or red part is positively charged proton, and this part blue, or you can compare it with seeds of watermelon, is electron. Okay, Thomson proposed that atom consists of positively charged sphere and electrons are embedded in it. Okay, negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude. We have already studied about this. So, atom as a whole is electrically neutral. So, according to J.J. Thomson, atom is electrically neutral. Why? Because negative charge, that is electron, and positive charge, that is proton, are equal in magnitude. That's why, according to J.J. Thomson, atom is electrically neutral. Okay. Now we will study Rutherford's model of an atom. According to Thomson's model, atoms are electrically neutral, but the results of experiment carried out by other scientists could not be explained by J.J. Thomson model and lead to the discovery of other model of atom. Okay, so now we will study Rutherford's model. Ernest Rutherford was interested in knowing the arrangement of electrons inside an atom, and for this he designed an experiment. The experimental setup was like this. There is having a source of alpha particle from where alpha particles were made to fall on this gold foil. Okay, and this is photographic plate, or we can say fluorescent screen, on which from this photographic plate he came to know the deflection of alpha particles from gold foil. Okay, so he selected a thin gold foil because he wanted thin layer, and that gold foil was about 1000 atoms thick. There is a question arise that why did he choose gold foil? Because gold is most malleable material. We can change the shape of gold without breaking down the gold, because it is most malleable, and you have already studied different properties of solid. Okay, so according to Rutherford, he selected gold foil. because he wanted as thin layer as possible. This gold foil was about 1000 atom thick, and alpha particles are doubly charged helium ions. Okay, what is alpha particles? Alpha particles are doubly charged helium ions, and they are having mass of 4 unit. Alpha particles have high amount of energy. Okay, he expected that alpha particles would be deflected by subatomic particles in the gold atoms. Why did he expected that alpha particles would be deflected? Because according to J.J. Thomson's model, electrons and protons are randomly arranged inside matter. So Rutherford expected that alpha particles would be deflected by this electron and proton. And also alpha particles are heavier, okay, heavier than proton. But after this experiment, uh, there was not much amount of deflection were seen. So there is presence of two proton and two neutron. Okay, there is an absence of electron. Now, according to Rutherford observation, most of the fast moving alpha particles passed straight through the gold foil. Over here you can see that most of the alpha particles were passed through the gold foil. Okay, some of the alpha particles were deflected by foil by small angles. Over here you can see that some of the alpha particles were deflected by small angles, and some of the alpha particles were deflected by this subatomic particle by large angle. Okay, over here you can see that this deflected by small angle. Okay, surprisingly, one out of every 12,000 particles appeared to be rebound. Here you can see that these alpha particles came along the source of alpha particles, that is came back of the alpha particle to the source of alpha particle, or we can say it is rebounding of alpha particle. Okay, this was the observation made by Rutherford. Now we will study his conclusion. As most of the alpha particles pass straight through the gold foil without any deflection, it shows that there is lot of empty space in atom. Some of the alpha particles are deflected through small and some deflected through large angles. It shows that there is positive center in atom which repel the positively charged alpha particle. Very few alpha particles completely rebound on hitting, shows that all positive charge and mass of atom were concentrated in very small volume with the atom. Okay, so most of the space inside the atom is empty. Why? Because most of the alpha particles passed through gold foil, right, without getting deflected. Very few particles were deflected from their path. Very few particles were deflected from their path. Indicate that positive charge of atom occupies very little space. Very small fraction of alpha particles were deflected. Okay, it indicates that all the positive charge and mass of the gold atom were concentrated in a very small volume within the atom. Okay, he concluded also that the radius of nucleus is about 105 times less than the radius of atom. Okay, on the basis of his experiment, Rutherford put forward nuclear model of atom, or we can say alpha scattering model. Okay, so there is a positively charged center in an atom called nucleus. Positively charged center in an atom is called nucleus. Nearly all the mass of an atom resides in nucleus. Nearly all the mass of atom is present inside nucleus. Okay. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular path. If this is nucleus, then electron will revolve around the nucleus in circular path. Okay, the size of the nucleus is very small. Okay, as compared to the size of atom. Okay, drawbacks or limitations of Rutherford model of an atom. Rutherford was unable to explain the stability of atom. According to Rutherford, electron is revolving around the nucleus. Let's say this is nucleus. So now this is called as orbit in which electron is revolving. According to Rutherford, electron is revolving around the nucleus in fixed orbit. There was one scientist named as Maxwell. According to him, if electron is revolving around the nucleus, it will continuously release some amount of energy. Due to the loss of this energy, orbit in which electron is revolving will get shrink day by day continuously. Okay, so time will come that orbit will shrink and it will collapse in nucleus. Okay, so Rutherford was unable to explain the stability of atom. Rutherford theory was incomplete because it did not mention anything about the arrangement of electrons in orbit. This was one of the major drawbacks of Rutherford atomic model. Okay, so thank you.